good afternoon. It's Mike Bowen, USA Triathlon Rules Ambassador for the Southeast region, and glad to be back here with you on a wonderful Saturday morning. And figured I'd go back into some more of the new rules changes that are going into effect in the 1st of July. I want to do a deep dive into the 3.4 section of the competition rules, basically covering general conduct. And this morning I'm going to go over looking at a little bit deeper at unsportsmanlike conduct, unauthorized assistance, and the abandoned equipment rule. Try to keep it short, sweet, and simple so that I don't bore you to death and you don't get too badly confused. All right. So let's start with the 3.4b, unsportsmanlike conduct. As always, verbal and physical abuse of others is not acceptable at a USA Triathlon event or tolerated. And all participants should refrain from unsportsmanlike conduct at all times. And that includes, abusive language, violent acts, intentional misconduct, or intimidating behavior directed toward another participant, USAT officials, event staff, volunteers, and spectators on the sidelines or near the field of play. The rule used to be that if you engaged in unsportsmanlike conduct, it was a choice of the head referee at their discretion to either sanction you with a variable time penalty or disqualification. Now it is straight up disqualification. There's no gray area on unsportsmanlike conduct. If you engage in it, you're going to be disqualified from the race by their head referee. All right? Hopefully that makes everything clear there. So now let's go on to 3.4D, the unauthorized assistance rule. This one's been really expanded this year. Once again, no participant shall accept assistance from anybody other than event personnel with regards to nutrition, drinks, medical and mechanical assistance. Split times and rotation of other competitors and your progress in the race course is not unauthorized assistance, hasn't been before. The rule has been expanded to talk about non-participants being on the course, especially the run course with an athlete. This constitutes pacing, which is prohibited, and any violation of this section results in a variable time penalty. Now, in the event of pacing, if a USAT official sees you out on the run course and there's somebody running along with you, pacing you, we're going to inform you, cease and desist. And then if you don't cease and desist from the pacing behavior, then we will hit you with a variable time penalty. All right. Incidental items are now acceptable. You can assist another participant in the event, providing food and drink after an aid station, your flat kit on the bike course. Are good examples of this. I remember back in my Ironman Augusta experience on the run course, and I suddenly had these massive horrid cramps, and a fellow competitor provided me about a handful of electrolyte capsules, which pretty much saved my day. That would be legal and permissible in the new version of the USAT rules. Now, sacrificial assistance. If another competitor were to loan you their entire bicycle or their wheels or their helmet or any sort of help that would be sacrificial, that would sacrifice their race chances. And I talked about this last week a little bit. Both athletes could be disqualified. Further on in the unauthorized assistance area, there is now also what has been called the Brownlee rule, based off of what happened between Alistair and Jonathan Brownlee at the World Triathlon Series final in Cozumel a couple of years ago. You cannot physically assist the forward progress of another participant on any part of the course. So let's say somebody stumbles and falls and they're staggering about on the run course. You cannot pick them up and help them along on the run course. That would result in both athletes being disqualified. I realize that you're saying, well, hey Mike, that's a good Samaritan thing. Anybody with half a brain would help somebody else who's in a world of hurt. No, that's what volunteers and medical personnel are for, is to help the athletes and not to drag them along the course. All right. Abandoned equipment. So this is 3.4H. And it's still, the rule is pretty much that no participant shall dispose of trash or discard of any equipment or personal gear on or around a race course, except at clearly identified disposal points, such as aid stations. USA Triathlon used to be a little less clear on this when they would just say, you can't discard it on the course, except in certain areas. And we never mentioned that you had to be within the sight of an aid station or something like that. Our friends at World Triathlon Corporation and ITU quite often have signage on their bicycle or run courses that says, this is a littering zone. You can discard of your equipment within this space. And it shows a start and an end. I suspect that there will be a encouragement of USAT race directors to put up such sorts of signs along bicycle and run courses in their events that are being sanctioned. So it has to be in a specific acceptable area. All right. Now you have to be either within a littering zone or discard zone, or at an aid station to ditch your equipment. I know, once again, I confused everybody and made a mess of all of this, and I promise I'll do better next week. We'll look a little bit deeper into some of the new adjustments and changes to the rules. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me on Facebook at facebook.com/USAT Rules Guy, or go to michael.s.bowen@gmail.com. And until I see you next time, make sure, keep those masks on and stay safe. Bye.